Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels, and I'm looking forward to our time together today, doing a little bit of scrapbooking with friends. We're going to be using the Stampin' Up! Collection from the Weekend Adventures Scrapbooking Workshop to create a two-page layout. I have already created page B that has the journaling, and today we're going to create page A with the title, and then at the end of the video, you get the big reveal and get to see how everything comes together. I'm using this layout right here as my jumping off point. So we'll refer back to this at the end of the video so you can see what was a little different, what was a lot different, and just how I made up my own. One of the things I do love about their scrapbooking workshops is they tell you how to cut out all of your cardstock and then how to create the pages. So if you like it exactly the way they are, then girl, you have everything that you need that comes in this kit. Of course, you need your own scissors and your own adhesives. So let me show you a little bit of the few of the pieces we're going to be using. Here are the stamp sets right here. The first one is called Peaceful Evergreens, and we're going to be using some die cut trees and some stamped images because it came with both. And we're also using this stamp set by Close to My Heart called Dream Maker, and we're going to use this little dirt splotch right here. So here are some of the other pieces of cardstock we're going to be using. I'm going to show you how to create this leathered look that we are adding to our layout. My dear friend Kelly Baxter Fitzgerald did a YouTube video on this, so I'm going to link that video below and also give you her information so you can go check out Kelly. Here are the photos we're going to be using. My husband and I took an RV trip to the Grand Canyon. We had so much fun. This was way back in 2018, a long time ago, but I'd always been waiting for that perfect set, the collection for the photos, so I could really do this justice. So I'm real excited to see you seeing me bring this all together. So there are the photos for page A, because remember, I've already done page B. And then here are the die cuts of the trees and some stamped images that we're going to use. And then these are some of the pieces of ephemera, and they came in a collection of punch out pieces of ephemera that come in the kit. And also some of these are stickers. Now, one thing I did do with almost all of my ephemera is I used this tool. Now, my friend of mine, Amy, Paper Therapy with Amy, showed this in one of her videos, and I thought, not only is she extremely creative, but she's also smart. Look at this. So this is one of your distressing tools. I wrote sand, so I'd know this is specifically just for that. And really what you do is you take one of these, the sponges that you can put on the top, you cut out a piece of sanding paper the exact same size, let it glue and dry overnight, and you attach it on there. You can go over all your edges. So I'm going to demo that so you can see how well it works. All righty. So let's move some of this stuff aside so we can get busy. I'm real excited for you to see how it all comes together. And then you know me, it's all about the reveal at the end of the video. So let's get started. We're going to move all of this. And like I said, at the end, we'll go back to that diagram, to the sketch from Stampin' Up, so you can see how it all does come together. We're going to, well, let's see, which way do I want it? Sometimes I can be so silly. All right, we're going to keep these out. We have this. We have our photos. I think we're all set. All right, I absolutely love this paper. I hated to not save a bit of it, so that's what I did. I cut out the center of it, and since I was putting this on top, it really didn't matter, did it? So we are going to actually glue this down because I like it that it makes it more stable, and nothing is going to go underneath this, so we will do that. Okay, everything, work with me here. There we go. I'm excited in the comments below to hear about your trips to the Grand Canyon. Photos do it absolutely no justice. I remember standing there looking out over the Grand Canyon, and I thought, oh my gosh, every photo I've ever seen was magnificent. but to stand there in person, seeing the Grand Canyon is a sight for the eyes that it's like if you were flying in an airplane over the Alps, you never forget it. It's the same, and it was for me with the Grand Canyon. I would literally never forget how it looks because it's just, let me fix this, so embedded in my mind. All right, so I want this about right here. Want it about the same on the top and the bottom. I have already torn a bit of the paper here and kind of curled it over. And then we're going to take this pinstripe piece. Now they did have this in the actual layout. I did keep a few things the same. I love the color combo most of all, just the different pieces of cardstock that they used. And this is the background. It's just so pretty. It worked out perfect. All right, so we're going to put this right up against the edge, and I'm going to get it set before I stick it down. That would be rather helpful, Laura. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, right here, I cut out this piece to put underneath. So we're going to slide this right underneath there so we'll have a bit of the green showing. Here we go. My fingers are kind of in the way. There we go. All right. Now I want that to, I like how that little bit of black shows. All right. The next thing I want to do is kind of get my photo placement on where I want to put everything. And this one is going to go up here. I don't want it right next to that. See the difference it makes when you kind of just push it to the side a little bit? And then this additional photo of the Grand Canyon, and then my husband and I down here on the bottom. So I know just because I have this big photo down here, I need some room up here. So this is going to go probably around at the 6.5 mark. And I want to make sure I'm showing enough of this buffalo plaid. And then I want this about right here. Okay. And we are putting lots on the back of this photo. I think the first thing I want to do is show you this distressing tool and how nicely it works on sanding the edges of a piece of paper or a piece of ephemera. So really, let me move this out of the way right here. And this is another thing that on the back of the punch out piece of cardstock, it actually says what project it goes to. All right, so all I did with all the different pieces, see, I did it with this circle. I did it with this tag right here. I really wanted to give it the rustic look, and then I punched a hole right there, is I just set it down on the piece of paper, and this is a piece of cardstock just for the printer. Okay, when I lift it up, you'll really be able to see the dimension that this gives it, and it really gives it a rugged, rustic look that I was really going after, and I'm excited about. Because I just didn't want to ink the edges. I wanted to look totally different. Now, you could also ink the edges after you've done this, right? Look how neat that looks. I love it. Now, I think there was another couple of pieces I wanted to do real quick. This one right here. And see how it shows the white core? And you don't have to hold it up in your hand, which when you do that, you have a tendency to rip it, bend it, tear it. Now, you really don't see anything with this, except it gives it that rough edge. And that's why I'm still doing it to this off-white cream. All right, I'm sure y'all know what this color is called. Not I. Do I have all the rest done? Very good. All right, so we have that done. Let's set that aside. And again, you just attach some sandpaper to the foam. Let it dry overnight so it glues really well. And this is by Amy, Paper Therapy with Amy. All right, so we have this. And on the very top, I wanted to put Exciting Day. So we're going to stick this on there before we attach this. Okay. Now we are not going to drop it. I want it right here in the middle. And with this glue, you have that little bit of wiggle room, which I always appreciate. So I can see if it is right on the money, which it wasn't. So I'm pulling it down. There we go. All right, now we can glue this one down. So that's what we're going to do, because nothing goes underneath it. And again, I want this about right here, coming over to the side. I think we'll do it right there. I got to remember I have that piece of blue up top also. So I want to come down a little bit. Okay, there we go. A little bit of black edge right there. Let's lay this down on the top. Put this right up here. See the difference it makes when I rough that up? I love the way that looks. Okay, now on the back of this photo, this about right here. Okay, there we go. And we're going to be putting some trees and some things right there. Okay, now I'm going to pause the camera because I want to get things ready so I can show you how I created this right here. So don't go anywhere. When Kelly showed this in her video, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I had to show it to all of you. All right, step one is you get your water sprayer, and we are gonna, I don't want to spray it on here. I'm gonna spray it off to the side. You're gonna die when you see what I do, because you literally take the piece of paper and you just crinkle it all up. And make sure you got some good crinkle in it. Okay, and you're gonna open it up. All right, here we go. And now you have your piece of paper, and you can always already see a little bit of the white core showing. And then you're going to get your Stampin' Up ink pad or whatever ink you use. I used Old Olive. And now I am going to take my sander. Goodness, what do I do with it? Right here. And I'm going to go over these edges a little bit. Now, you're going to go watch her video, and I'm probably not even doing it right. So that's one of the reasons I said, oh my gosh, let me make sure they have the link to her video. Now, you have to be gentle with it. All right. But one of the neat things about this tool by Amy is you can just go in a circular motion. You're not being real rough with your piece of paper. All right. And then you're going to take some of the ink from the ink pad. And again, you're going to go over it because you want to get that rough look to everything. Like it is a worn piece of paper. It's a worn out hiking trail. And you put as much or as little that you want to add. And now you can see, that looks good, doesn't it? Now you can see how I got this look right here. And here I didn't even do the distressing with the sandpaper. So you could do that on top of this. So it's kind of up to you whether you want to add the sanding or not. And I'm guessing I probably wasn't even supposed to do that, but I did it anyways. Y'all know me, kind of fly by the seat of my pants. Oh, hello, why didn't someone tell me this would happen? Oh my gosh. Y'all are probably dying. You are literally losing your minds right there. This could be the end to the entire scrapbook page. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wonder how many of you, when you saw me laying that down on top there, did you know that would happen? Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. We're good. We're good. Everybody relax. Laura, take a deep breath. Oh my gosh. All right. I love the way that looks. Anyways, that's what happens when I kind of go off a little bit. All right. First thing is we're going to peel this off. You can buy large sheets of this on Amazon, and it is just foam, dimensional, whatever you want to call this. All right. Putting that right there. Now this is going to go, see, I got ahead of myself with this. And you do want to give it a chance to dry, right? Okay. You're going to do want this about right here, and it's going to be Cattywanka underneath my photo, like right there. And then we're going to add this. I almost did this crooked. This has to go straight. Laura, work with me here. There we go. Okay, that's right there. And then this is going to go under here. And I want it, okay, now let me lift this up. I want this about right there. I like that. Let's get this straight again. Okay, all right, there we go. I love how that looks. Oh, goodness, we've had a couple episodes here. And I think I want to move that up. No, I kind of like that right there. All right, let's lay this down, but we've got to put the tree underneath it. I know, sometimes I make y'all nervous when you're watching my videos. Thinking, does this woman even know what she's doing? Well, really, no. No, I don't. I just kind of wing it. I want this small tree. Now, look, you could do the lighter side and the dark side and get two different looks. Not with this one, because they're both the same. Oh, I'm such a hoot. Oh, gosh. Yeah, these do not have two different sides. No, it doesn't matter, but there is a right side and a wrong side to these. Oh, boy. Okay, let's stick this down. And I want this going a little bit over the photo, and then these are going to go right here. So this is going to go about right there. Okay, and this is going to go right here. And I want this bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, and that is not too high. I know it looks it, but really it's not, because it will be fine. All right, well now I want to put down this explore tag. And I want this. Now see, it had the same side as this, but I cut into it and I did the hole punch right there. I'm going to put this about right here, because we are going to add our little piece of ribbon here, and this is Stampin' Up. Look at this. I don't remember which it came through. I think it was a fishing collection, and it's just 100% linen. It's called Wavy Trim. Well, there you go. It's called Wavy Trim. We're going to put this right there. All right, and then we're going to add this piece and this piece over here. And I think I'm going to put this, because I want to add the date and what we were doing. So I need to have room for this on there. And I want to go around the edge of this. This is pecan pie. I want to go around the edge of both of those with this real quick. I'm just going to go around the edge. I think this will really make it stand out better. You know what's good about creating a rustic layout? If you make a mistake, it's all a part of the rustic look. I really didn't need to do the top there because it'll be tucked under, but anything that would have been showing, it will be there if it's needed. Okay. All right, so let's adhere this down. And I want to put this on a dimensional. I think it'll look good. Let's get two of these. Oh, I've got to decide on that, don't I? What am I going to leave in this video? I think there are some parts I need to take out. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's get sticky on all of these. All right. So I know I'm going to put this on first, right here. There we go. And we're going to put this down about. I want it to come out a little bit past it, right there. I want this to go under just a titch, right there. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Okay. All right, now we have our view. Oh, what a view, because it most definitely was. And then we have these 3 different tags going underneath. And this one's going to go on the very bottom. So we'll do this one first. I want it about right there. I'm trying to make sure I still see all of these colors. I love them. Just so outdoorsy and rustic. Let's put this right here. And then this one. I'll put this one right here. Oh, right there. That looks better. Okay. And I have these on dimensionals. And then we have a couple more trees and some background stamping to do. And then we're going to do the big reveal. Okay. Here's this one right here. And now let's add these trees. I want this one in the very back. Really just need little dots, because remember, this is going to be in page protectors. Just enough so it's not going all over the place. This one's going to go right here. And then we're going to add this green one on top of it. I wanted to bring in all the colors. Lay this one down. Okay. And then we're going to add this one. And this one I cut out from the cardstock that had all the little trees on it. And it gave a lot of dimension to the actual branches. And I will show you this piece of paper in just a second. All right, let's put this one down and let me get this piece of paper for you. See this one with the trees? This is what I die cut this tree from right here. All right, the last thing we want to do is a little bit of stamping up by, I'll glue this down. Come on now. There we go. Let's stick this needle in here. And let's get these out of the way so it looks a little better. Okay, and let's do our little stamping. So we're going to do some pecan. This had a stamp on it, and I picked it up, and the stamp wasn't there. All right, just a little bit. Double check it to make sure things are not where they shouldn't be. Put something right there. We need to do 3s. So let's put this right there. All right, and then up here, I'll put one right here. And then one here. And then a little bit coming off the side right here. All right, there we go. All right, I like the way that looks. All right, my friends, don't go anywhere, because now I am going to show page B to our page A. So let's take a look at page A next to page B, and then I'm going to read the journaling for you without my hands all over the screen so that you can take a screenshot if you'd want to. And then I'm going to highlight some different things I did that I wanted to show you. And remember, this is the Weekend Adventures Scrapbooking Workshop from Stampin' Up. All right, so let me read you the journaling. I loved everything about our RV cross-country road trip that year. It was back in September of 2018. I have to say, one of the highlights was beholding the overwhelming grandeur of the Great Grand Canyon in person. Photos simply cannot do it justice. It was a beautiful September day in Arizona, and I'll never forget the moment we came down the path and our eyes rested upon its sheer vastness and stunning beauty. To say we were speechless was an incredible understatement. It's a deep-sided canyon carved by the Colorado River, the Grand Canyon, and it's one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It measures 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and over a mile deep in some places. It's such a vast chasm that it's genuinely hard for the mind and the eyes to grasp how huge it truly is. Every corner we turned on our hike was another incredible vista to behold. I have to say it was a fabulous bucket list item to check off. And I really think I was able to capture the ruggedness and the beauty of the Grand Canyon because of the different treatments I did to the pieces of ephemera, like using my sander to go along the edges here to give it this leather look that Kelly showed in one of her videos. And one of the things I forgot to add was this strip down here at the bottom. You can see it over here on page B. After I tore it with the white core showing, I also went over it with some pecan pie down the bottom. All right, so let's take a look at what I did over here. I added the same treatment to the mat on the back of this photo that I did here. Do you see my photo off? I said, Jerry, I'm going to go sit there and spread my arms at the vastness of the Grand Canyon, and you need to take my photo. So, all right, so here we have the tags going up, whereas when you look down over here, they're pointed down to the bottom. I cut out this sticker of the coffee cup and added that. I did the same treatment to the edges of these pieces of ephemera by sanding them down. I have the trees, and I have these style trees in my 3 different, I actually have 4 clusters because your eye is going up and around. And then here I added the title, the journaling, and then this tag right here. And I did another tear on this buffalo plaid. And I wanted to make this one a little cattywampus, so I did some treatment under there. Let me bring in the actual layout so you can see. I changed it a whole lot, didn't I? But what I fell in love with was just the colors they used in it, the buffalo plaid and the stripe going down. I think that's basically the only thing I've kept. I have 3 photos, but they're not the same size. And I love how I did the cluster up here at the top. Even on this side, I changed it up. The only thing that's really the same is this photo with this up top here and this cluster. The rest of it is different. But I know a lot of you are like me, that when you can take something and use it as a jumping off point, your mind isn't wrestling so much as to even where and how to put down the first photo. All right, my friends, that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the comments below if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon. Thanks for the thumbs up. It goes a long way and help my channel to grow. And until we meet again, God bless, have an incredible day, and stay crafty. Bye-bye.